Welcome to this explainer, everyone. If you spend literally any time in the cybersecurity world, you already know that managing a security operations center is an incredibly high-stakes game. Well, today, we are going completely under the hood. We're going to decode the exact methods used by top-tier Microsoft Sentinel architects to utterly crush one of the biggest threats to any security team, alert fatigue. By looking closely at the core requirements of this role and Microsoft Sentinel's technical documentation, we've pulled together the ultimate blueprint for filtering out all that background noise and zeroing in on high-fidelity threats. But first, let's talk about the elephant in the room for a second. Are you or is your team currently drowning in SOC alerts? Honestly, it's a super common reality. When an environment is just constantly flashing red, the sheer volume of noise actually becomes a vulnerability all on its own. Analysts get tired, they start kind of ignoring routine warnings, and you know what? That is exactly when a real catastrophic threat slips right by, completely hidden inside that massive volume of noise. It's not just an annoyance anymore, it's a critical risk to the business. So enter our hero for today, the Microsoft Sentinel architect. Based on industry job summaries, this absolutely isn't an entry-level position. We're talking about an expert, usually carrying anywhere from 9 to 15 years of heavy IT and cybersecurity experience. And they're given a very specific high-level mandate: design scalable, enterprise-grade security monitoring, integrate SIEM and SOAR solutions, and, most importantly for our topic today, optimize alert tuning to drastically reduce SOC response times. Basically, they're the master builders of the security environment. Okay, let's dive right into this. To understand how the architect solves this massive problem, we're going to follow a 5-step data funnel blueprint: architecture and collection, data normalization, analytics tuning, behavioral analytics, and finally, automation and SOAR. All right, section 1, architecture and collection. This is all about filtering the noise right at the source. Let's look at the structured, foundational workflow the architect builds to maintain high-fidelity detections. Step 1 is identifying your baseline telemetry volume. You literally have to figure out which log sources are the absolute noisiest to determine if that high volume provides actual security value or if it's just excessive chatter. Step 2 is contextual enrichment. This means integrating threat intelligence or CMDB data so you can tag assets with risk scores, allowing the SOC to prioritize high-value targets. But Step 3 is where the magic really happens: ingestion filtering using data collection rules, or DCRs. By applying KQL-based filtering right at the source, DCRs prevent low-value data from ever reaching the workspace or triggering unnecessary alerts. And of course, you finish with a strong user acceptance testing phase, validating against a golden image and incorporating direct feedback from your analysts to continuously prune those persistent false positives. Moving right along to section 2, data normalization, speaking one language. Dealing with unparsed data is honestly a total nightmare. It's full of inconsistent field markings and crazy vendor-specific log formats that will completely break your KQL detection rules. The architect's elegant solution to this chaos is the Advanced Security Information Model, or ASIM framework. ASIM provides a framework for normalizing and parsing all that chaotic data into one standardized structure. So no matter what firewall or server the log came from, ASIM ensures every single log speaks the exact same language. This practically eliminates the risk of false positives caused by inconsistent field mapping. Next up, section 3, analytics tuning, sharpening the KQL. A massive game changer architects use here is threshold-based analysis. Instead of writing a rigid, static rule that alerts on a single, isolated event, these shift to frequency and persistence-based logic. For example, alert only if event X occurs more than 50 times in 10 minutes. Why does this matter so much? Because a single failed login could literally just be an employee forgetting their password. You definitely don't want your analyst waking up at 2 a.m. for that. But 50 failed logins in 10 minutes? Okay, now that's a brute force attack. By grouping high-volume events into a single actionable incident, it ensures only high-fidelity patterns actually get escalated to analysts. So a crucial part of this is just knowing what's to ignore. And that brings us to watch lists. Watch lists are incredibly powerful tools for importing external data to reference directly within your queries. They basically let you create allow lists for known good activities, like your trusted IP addresses, authorized service accounts, or approved administrative actions. When a security event matches a trusted entity on that watch list, the alert is automatically suppressed. It's such an elegant way to tell the system, hey, we know this guy, let him do his thing, which instantly, drastically reduces alert fatigue. All right, section 4, behavioral analytics, or UEBA, moving beyond static error-prone rules. Microsoft Sentinel elevates detection by utilizing user and entity behavior analytics, or UEBA. This allows the system to identify threats based on deviations from a deep baseline of what is normal for your specific network. Instead of just looking for a single static bad action, it shifts the focus to broader behavioral patterns. It basically asks, is this user acting weird for them? By doing this, it successfully avoids triggering alerts on those transient, everyday network quirks that aren't truly malicious. You can even leverage ML-based customizable anomalies to identify true deviations from your baseline, rather than relying on one-off rules. And finally, we arrive at Section 5, Automation and SOAR, the final filter. Let's consider some common false positive scenarios and how to apply logic suppression to them. Let's say you have routine system maintenance that accidentally trips a wire. Instead of a human analyst dealing with it, the architect sets up an automation rule to perform the initial triage and immediately auto-close the incident. Or what about a verified vulnerability scanner probing your network? You can implement suppression logic via a playbook that automatically lowers the severity and suppresses the alert. By automating this stuff, you guarantee that verified routine system tasks never require human intervention again. When you stack all 5 of these phases together, the impact is visually striking. By utilizing DCRs, ACM, threshold tuning, watch lists, UEBA, and automation, the architect can theoretically suppress an estimated 75% of the operational noise. Think about what that means. It means the human analysts in your SOC are now dedicating their valuable time exclusively to the remaining 25%, the actual, high-fidelity data that represents real, actionable threats. And that brings us full circle right back to the original job description. This quote is the core mandate of the Microsoft Sentinel architect. Collaborate with SOC teams to improve detection coverage and reduce response times. Everything we just discussed, from dropping junk data at the collection point all the way to automating the final triage, is designed to fulfill that exact mission. It eliminates the fatigue so the analyst can actually respond to what matters, faster than ever before. So, I'm going to leave you with this final thought as we wrap up this explainer. If you successfully implemented this data funnel architecture in your own Sentinel environment, with the noise finally gone, what hidden threats will your SOC discover next? The real adversaries are out there right now, hiding in the chatter. It's time to silence the noise and go find them. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and keep exploring.